the past month, I've been living with a pretty bold idea. I completely replaced my iPhone and my iPad with this one device, the Galaxy Z Fold 7. This has been my everything device. I've used it for watching YouTube in bed, planning my week, gaming, and of course the everyday stuff, calls, emails, texting, all of it. And my goal was to simply answer one question. Is it finally worth ditching both my iPhone and iPad and commit to the Galaxy Z Fold 7 as my main device? Now, it gets really interesting when you look at the price point of these devices. An iPhone 16 Pro Max with 256 gigs is about $1,200. If you add an iPad on top of that with 128 gigs, that's $499. So all in, you're looking at $1,799 for that classic Apple 2 device setup. And the Z Fold 7 with 256 gigs starts at $1,999, making it $200 more expensive than those two devices. So no doubt, this is going to be a tough sell for most, but the value proposition of this device, in my opinion, is convenience, and it's something that I didn't really understand until I started using one. The ability to go from phone to tablet in seconds without looking for a second device is honestly a game changer. When I'm laying in bed and a thought pops into my head, instead of getting up to grab my iPad, I can just simply unfold the device that's already in my hand. When I'm out and about and I need to review a contract or drawing, I have an 8-inch screen that I can utilize anytime to be more productive. And with the Fold 7's new form factor, it finally feels like a regular phone that just happens to unfold into a tablet instead of feeling like you're carrying two phones glued together. And if you think about it, having a 2-in-1 device means you're only needing to look after one device, which means one SIM card, one plan, one charger, one battery. And if you're looking for a multifunctional power bank that can handle all your devices, let me tell you about the Rapid 25K power bank from today's sponsor, EcoFlow. This thing is built for people who need serious, reliable power on the go. It's a 25,000 milliamp battery, so it's airline safe, but still big enough to charge pretty much anything I carry. My Z Fold 7 can charge it multiple times over. My laptop, no problem. Even my gear when I'm shooting all day. And this isn't your typical slowpoke power bank. This outputs up to 170 watts total. It has USB-C and USB-A ports, so you can fast charge multiple devices at once, and that means I can charge my phone and laptop together without it breaking a sweat. One of my favorite features is the real-time display because it shows exactly how much power you're using and how much is left, so you're never guessing if you'll make it through the day. And here's the genius part. It has a built-in retractable USB-C cable, so no extra cables to carry, no tangles. I can simply pull out the integrated cable and I'm good to go. Little details like this make a huge difference when you're trying to keep your setup simple, so if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. Big thanks to EcoFlow for sponsoring this portion of the video and making my one device setup way more practical. Using the Z Fold 7 as my daily phone feels very natural. In hand, it's not awkward at all compared to my iPhone 16 Pro. In fact, after a while, I don't even think that it's a foldable phone. It feels absolutely like a regular phone until I need to use that inner screen. This is partly because they made the cover screen wider and it's now 6.5 inches, and it makes it perfect for everyday stuff like texting, scrolling on social media, or checking maps. The screen is sharp, vibrant, and honestly just pleasing to look at. Watching videos or browsing photos is genuinely enjoyable on this screen. And with 120Hz refresh rate, gaming also feels incredibly smooth. Playing something like Warzone Mobile on this cover screen feels snappy and responsive, but of course, the real magic happens when you unfold it. The 8-inch screen display instantly turns your phone into a mini tablet. It's bright, sharp, and almost immersive enough to make you forget you're holding a phone at all. Whether I'm reading an article, editing a document, or just getting lost in a Netflix binge, the extra screen real estate changes the experience completely. Now, before I used the foldable, I was definitely concerned about the crease. I thought it would be a constant distraction, but now that I've used one for a while, it's honestly not a problem. When you're looking at the screen straight on, it just blends in the background. Most of the time, I don't even notice it. Yes, off angle, you'll definitely catch some glare. It's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely there. One more thing I noticed were the speakers. They're good, but they're not iPhone or iPad mini good. The iPad's audio just feels fuller and richer, and of course the iPhone is one of the best in the market, but the Z Fold speakers are fine for casual listening. But if audio is a big thing for you, you'll definitely notice the difference. But remember, you're getting a phone and tablet in one, and that's where the Fold 7 really starts to pull ahead in day-to-day productivity. Samsung's multitasking is on a completely different level compared to iOS. I can have multiple apps open and I can configure them however I want. I can watch a YouTube video while I'm researching and still have room to check my notes, and I can even have another app ready to be used in pop-up view. Reviewing a contract while answering messages, comparing two websites at once, referencing a document during a video call. These are the things I can do instantly without reaching for a second device. One thing I do miss about the iPad mini setup is the Apple Pencil. It's just so good for marking up PDFs, sketching ideas, or signing documents. Honestly, I don't understand why Samsung took out the S Pen on the Z Fold 7, but I did find a third-party stylus on Amazon that works relatively well with the Fold. It's not S Pen or Apple Pencil level, but it does an okay job for what I need to use it for. However, if you're a digital artist, this is not going to be sufficient for you. Now, running multiple apps, streaming videos, bouncing between work and personal tasks is only great if a phone can actually keep up and last through the day. And that's where the Z Fold 7 really surprised me. Even with all that multitasking, the battery easily gets me through a full day. I'm talking planning in the morning, emails and messaging throughout the day, YouTube during lunch, and even some gaming in the evening. A big part of that comes down to the new Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy chip inside. It's tuned specifically for Samsung phones, so everything feels fast and smooth, and it's now more power efficient. It handles games like Warzone Mobile without any issues, so performance-wise, it's right up there with the best flagship phones, so I don't feel like I'm missing anything. But for most people, the real deciding factor when switching from an iPhone is the camera. And honestly, the Z Fold 7 holds its own. The images look sharp, colors are vibrant, exactly what you would want out of your phone for everyday shots. Depending on the lighting, sometimes the iPhone looks better and sometimes the Z Fold 7 looks better, but it's closer than I thought it would be. Personally, I've been shooting with filters enabled on my Z Fold 7. I love how this gives my photos an elevated look without really needing to edit them. It's pretty much a set it and forget it type of thing, and if for some reason I don't want them for a specific photo, I can easily take them out. But 90% of the time, I love how the images turn out. When I switched to the Z Fold 6 last year, I wasn't as confident using it as my only camera. I still found myself reaching for a different device, but that's changed with the Z Fold 7. One of my favorite features is the ability to monitor my shot while taking selfie photos and videos using the rear cameras. This allows me to take the highest quality possible, which is something you really can't do with other devices. Another thing that impressed me is the Z Fold 7's log recording mode. Having the ability to take pro-like videos whenever I need is super clutch. It gives me so much flexibility when editing. I can really push the colors and get close to any of my professional cameras. And it's honestly amazing what kind of image you can get with phones nowadays. Another reason people might have difficulty when it comes to switching is the ecosystem. I'm talking about AirDrop, iMessage, FaceTime, all those little conveniences that make Apple devices feel so connected. And that's why I created a video on how to survive your switch from Apple to Samsung in the cards above, so if you're considering switching, that video is a must watch. So this brings us back to the big question we started with. Is it finally worth ditching your iPhone and iPad for the Galaxy Z Fold 7? Well, if you're deep in the Apple ecosystem and rely on things like iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop, you'll definitely notice what's missing. But if you're willing to adapt like I am, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is the most convincing all-in-one device I've ever used. It's powerful enough to replace two devices, portable enough to take everywhere, and versatile enough to handle almost anything you throw at it. But let me know what you guys think. I'm planning on putting together a Galaxy Z Fold 7 tips and tricks video to help you make the most out of your new device. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.